We're now up and we're live, and my job is really to coordinate things. There's quite a few of us, which is awesome, and we've got 6 really interesting wines. And so the goal really is to taste the wines and share our impressions as we taste them. Here we have a map of the Rhone Valley. So we're starting up at the top there in the north of the Rhone, starting up with Vienne. From Vienne down to Avignon is about 200 kilometers. And the region threads down along the river. Really. And what you can see from that map straight away is the northern Rhone, the top, Fournon and Saint-Hermitage is there. There's just much larger spread of vineyards there. And really, Grenache is the key red wine here. This is red wine country. Côtes du Rhône is red wine. 88% of the wine produced is red, and 7% of it's rosé, and just 5% is white wine. And so the big difference between the south and the north is well, first of all, the climate's a bit cooler in the north, but also the main grape varieties. So the north is pretty much monovarietal Syrah, sometimes with a little bit of Viognier blended as well. And the south is blends. Blends is the key there, with Grenache dominant. Grenache has to be about 40% of the wine. So we should start off with the first wine. This is Le Chasse with the Rhone Reserve from a merchant called Gabriel Meff. Share your impressions, one at a time, of course.
Very positively ripe and juicy as soon as you smell it.
It's got quite nice full body, and it's got quite prominent oak for me, which I wasn't really expecting. But it's well balanced. It's well integrated.
I like the smell. I like the taste. There's nothing wrong with them at all.
What I like about it, it seems to be quite a good. I know it's a blend, but it's Grenache dominant. It gives quite a good example of Grenache from this region, which is what I quite like about it. If you agree,
I think it just delivers an honest experience of Côtes du Rhône. It delivers a sort of food compatible experience. So the second, we're moving up a little bit in price. We're at a tenner here from Majestic, and this is the Côtes du Rhône from De La Frère.
I like this one. It's more substantial. It's more, more what I think a Côtes du Rhône wine is.
Yeah, it looks just a beautiful cut. I know it sounds a bit twee when I say it, but it just looks like a lovely wine.
It's got a lower acidity. It's a bit sort of darker in its complexion. I guess that's the Syrah, and mine's a little bit yeasty.
I think this is I really like this. This is kind of, I think someone mentioned it, the weight of it in the mouth. It's kind of rounder and smoother. It's a bit softer. It's got a little bit of peppery bite. There's some of these savoury, meaty notes as well that I quite like. You need to remember this, is that often a lot of what we experience about wine is the stuff around the wine. It's not just the liquid in the glass. So the circumstances, the company, the expectations we have, and the glassware, and all these things are things that change the way we appreciate and enjoy wine, and it's very significant. And I think that's a very healthy way to look at wine. So I think we should move on to wine number 3. Well, biodynamics is kind of like taking organics, but taking it kind of a step further, using special preparations, and really trying to encourage the soil microbial diversity to work really well.
I think the whole sort of bunkum of biodynamics aside, this is a lovely wine. And I'm really not buying biodynamics at all, but this is a cracking wine. And it's bloody and inky and full, and it's got like black cherry to it and good spice. And it's got some alcohol as well. You can really feel the power of the alcohol.
I was going to agree there. I absolutely love this one. It's really generous. It's pushing out lots of very friendly fruit flavors. It's long. I think it's fantastic value.
I also got initially a lot of like aniseed and licorice when it first opened up, or when I first poured it. I do think it has some depth and intensity to it. And I actually like biodynamic wines a lot. So I think you can see it in here. It's quite intense, this wine. It's got a nice sort of linearity to it as well.
But again, lovely flavours. And someone mentioned about the length of the finish, absolutely spot on. Really, really nice finish to it.
It's a massively food-friendly wine as well.
I think for me, this last wine is the one that would probably finish last, not because it's necessarily worse than any other one, but because it's more interesting. So I think I probably would want it after my food so I could enjoy it kind of independently.
I think that this is a real food wine, in my opinion. That you can definitely imagine, sinking your teeth into a nice big steak or something, quite substantial.
A really highly regarded producer, and I've always enjoyed their Côtes du Rhône a great deal.
This seems incredibly elegant, really delicate, but then with that alcohol, it kind of knocks your socks off.
Elegance, the word on this wine. It's quite savoury on the nose, but on the palate it's sort of sweet and ultra approachable and pleasing. I could sit smelling this all night. I just think it's really pretty, almost potpourri style, but with a bit of fruit, lots of red wine. And it's pretty good on the palate as well.
Okay, now I think we're going to move to the Syrah. The Georges Vernet Scent of Gut 2012. What a lovely label. That's a beautiful label, isn't it? Label design matters a lot to me. I think it often influences whether I like wine before I taste it. And they've got this wine.
That smells beautiful. This smells like quintessential Rhone.
It's beautiful. Got some pepper, something medicinal on the nose.
Yeah, the nose is totally different. It's almost like rubber, volatiles coming through. It's a completely different style of wine to the other. It's a real contrast with the previous wine, which we described as a pretty, elegant potpourri. This is much more masculine with sterner kind of flavour.
Some real integration with the tannins, with the fruit, and with the alcohol. I think that really works very nicely.
It's really nice in the mouth. It's got some nice fruit in there, but it's still got that garrigue, the herbs. And it does have some fruit finish.
This is the next wine, and this is interesting. This is from a very famous estate. Well, it's not the estate wine. It's from Beaucastel, which is one of the top. This one is that there's 30% Mourvedre in the blend. Now, Mourvedre is one of the Côtes du Rhône varieties.
Fruit flowers, violets, raspberry. Yeah, I really like. I mean, initially I didn't. The nose was quite powerful, but now it's kind of evolved. It's becoming warmer and softer. In my big glass, anyway.
It's got a massive mouth on it. I mean, in a good way. I mean, I've just been really chuffed with that one. Big in the mouth, isn't it?
It is a powerful wine. It's got some lovely, elegant sort of herbaceous notes to it. But it's got that power and probably less alcohol than I was expecting. But it's got backbone, but it's got subtlety and it really dances. It's a lovely wine.
I think it's a very nice one. Yeah, it's drinking really well. It's got a nice body to it. It's not too powerful. It's still got some nice balance in there.
One thing that's come out this evening, now we've tasted all 6 of the wines, is what fantastic value they are. Even the 6-pounder was a good value for £6. But this Perrin, £16.63. It's more than most people would want to spend. But it's terrific value at the price.
This really highlights that Côtes du Rhône wines are properly food wines, aren't they? I think if you were to sink a whole bottle of this without eating anything, you'd be in trouble. You wouldn't be able to speak. But it's doing a tasting like this makes you realise exactly when and where you should be.
And guys, I hope you enjoyed the wines. I really like them. It's been great to hear your opinions on them as well. So thanks very much for your participation.
Cheers, Jamie. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Jamie. Yeah, cheers.